Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is BD from BD Gaming, and today I want to show you another product that I found and bought from the Chinese market. You can call it eBay, you can call it AliExpress. There are several other similar sites, but they all kind of sell the same stuff. This time around we are going to talk about one of these survival kits that you can find on these sites. As you can see, they are fairly cheap, but the real question here is, do they help anyone and who are they intended for? So as you can see, this product here, it costs $7 plus shipping, I guess, but I didn't pay any shipping for it, so you can get free shipping, as you can see. Here are some nice pictures of the content, and yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. It had very good reviews. This had to be one of the characteristics of the product, to have at least 4 stars and at least 20-25 good reviews, so I can buy it. Otherwise I won't touch it. Okay, so without further ado, I will unbox and review this product for you, and at the end of this video we're going to draw a conclusion if this is actually helpful, and of course the category of people that this is intended for. So stick with me, guys. Be shortly back with the review. Alright guys, welcome back. So this is the actual review of the product. As you can see, I've already removed it from the packaging. It wasn't much to show into that aspect. Just a cardboard envelope with some bubble wrap inside of it. So it arrived in one piece. It doesn't have any kind of damage to it, as you can see. So let's take a look at what this contains. Alright, so I'm gonna open it now. Let's see, this is supposed to be a waterproof container. I've seen this type of containers on eBay, and they run for about $3 each. But if you are a little bit patient, you can catch these containers a smaller price range if you get them on sale or something like that. So this one is from Fervor Fox, but that doesn't say anything necessarily. It does have a QRC code on it, which I didn't test it to see where it is. I'm always afraid to do that with Chinese products because they might contain actual viruses and stuff like that, so I'm not going to see what that leads to. The box itself has 2 holes here for, I guess, for lanyards, so you can catch this to your backpack or your belt loop or something like that. And it has multiple clips. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 clips on the outside that keeps this sealed, let's call it. Now let's open this one by one, and it does seem to hold air in. Alright, so it has some cushioning material here that should keep the items inside safe. Before we go into the box, let's discuss a little something first, which is, for me, every survival kit should contain at least 5 very essential items. This is in line with the 5 C's, of course, and those 5 items should be composed of at least one cover element, 1 cutting tool, 1 piece of cordage. Alright, so they're 3 already, 1 container, and 1 combustion device. This is the magical 5 items that will keep you alive in any situation. If you have these 5 items in any of these survival kits, then you have a chance to stay alive and actually get rescued by someone, or to get home by yourself, but that's a little bit more unlikely. But you can keep yourself alive if your kit contains those 5 essential items, alright? That being said, I think we covered the container element already. This being a seal type container that is waterproof, that means you can put water in here, and although it's plastic, well, for a survival situation you will have to take the risk and drink that water without boiling it, because if you drink water that is not boiled, it will keep you alive, although it might give you diverse germs and bacteria that could cause some damage to you. However, you will be alive. Enough said about that. So the container is the box itself. One of the C's is covered. Now, from what I see here already, we have one of these cheapo credit card type cutting tools that comes with a sheet, and inside the sheet you also have a list with the various functions of this cutting tool. So if we turn this around, try to put this so you can see it, each one of these parts of the tool has a number to it, and if you take a look here, all of these numbers have a function attached to it. However, from experience, I had 2 or 3 of these I received as gifts from my friends, for my family, and honestly, they never cut. You can open bottles with them, but don't try open cans with it, because it's not going to work. This one has a rudimentary edge here and here, and also has a saw here. So earlier, after unboxing this whole thing, I tried to cut a piece of wood that wasn't that big, as you can see from the marks here on it, but it didn't cut the stick. So, but I'm pretty sure you can open a bottle with this bottle opener. This is not sharp. I can pretty much rub my finger on it and it's not gonna cut me. This has a little bit of a tip on it. Maybe it can open a can. And then this screwdriver head here seems to be thin enough to work with most of the screws that you might encounter. But for the rest of this, you have a little ruler that I think it's in the metric system. You have this radius here that should help you orientate yourself, like a little tiny compass or something like that, using the sun. I don't know. I leave this up to your discretion, guys. If you think these things are worth it, they're like 90 cents on eBay. So you can buy some and try it for yourselves. But as I told you, this would be my 3rd or 4th one that I have. I was every time disappointed with these little things, except from the fact that it's a little bit of piece of metal, and metal is always good to have with you in the wild, because metal is kind of hard to get, sorry. I wouldn't stake my life on this little piece of stainless steel, okay? So let's put this aside here. Then we have one of these little saws. We all know what these saws are made of. Basically, they're a little bit of a chain, if you can call this a chain. It's more like steel wire. It has 2 holes here that you can put your fingers in, or you can put 2 sticks in, and you can try at it at a tree, try cut some branches off with this thing. Again, I leave this at your discretion, guys. If you like this kind of items, again, they're like $1 on eBay, this type at least. You can find more expensive ones, they can get up to $25, but a saw is a saw, and I don't think that wires like this can be considered saws. So that's that, and that's the second item we got here. So I'm gonna put here in this place our cutting tools. Now I do see here one of these survival whistles. Let's see if it works. So this kind of works, but it's not very loud by any chance. If you open this here, you get a little bit of a container where I guess you could put some matches, but I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. So they should have put some matches in here, as this is a survival kit that you should just grab, buy it, grab it, and go with it. So I guess they forgot to put something in here, or a small, fire steel. But in any case, and I think it's somewhat water resistant because it has one of these little O-rings made out of rubbery material that's supposed to keep water out of your little container. And it's pretty much the same with the rubber that you have here on this edge of the box. So let's call this a non-essential item for survival, but something that you can signal with. But as I said, it's not very loud, and it doesn't have the combustion part to it, which usually you find on this kind of whistles. If you go ahead and search on eBay for survival whistles, survival aluminium whistles, then you will find kind of the same stuff that you see here, but with a fire rod inside or some matches inside and some cotton balls. So this is, to me, is an incomplete item. But again, let's call this a signaling device and put it here and move on. Now, another tool, another multi-tool, okay? My tripod is acting today. So this of course has the pliers. Okay, they are spring activated. If you can see the spring down there. It seems to have a wire cutter in there, and the needle nose seems to be quite aligned. The best test for this would be, of course, to try removing one piece of hair from my arm here, and I don't know if it's visible or not. Let's try another one. Here we go. This one's longer, so it's visible. So it can pull out a hair out of your arm. So this is basically the way you test if the needle nose of the pliers is aligned properly, and this one it is. Now let's look a little bit at the rest of the functions that it has. Of course, it has one of these key rings. You can attach it to something. Then this looks like a small flashlight. It's quite bright, and it's the twisty kind, which uses a small watch battery. These are quite good actually, but you have to be careful not to put them on full sliver, otherwise you'll just consume all your battery. And then on this side we have some multiple tools. This is a serrated edge, which serrations are not very sharp. This is some kind of bottle opener with a small screwdriver here. This is so thick that you can't put it in any screw, so I don't know exactly what the meaning of this is. Okay, inside of here we have another blade, which of course is not sharp. Alright, and then you have the Phillips screwdriver, which is it's not 3D, but I don't know, I guess it could work in a pinch. Comment down below, guys, if you like this multi-tool, because I don't. I'm pretty sure you can find this also for $1 or $2 on eBay. And to be honest, to put your life at stake for one of these little things, I mean, I think if I squeeze it long enough, I can break it down, because I can feel it in my arm that it's really breaking in. But anyways, so I'll put this alongside our other cutting tools. So we have 3 now. And why not? Let's have our 4th one. Alright, this is a little bit more interesting. This I actually like a little bit. It's one of those little what you call them? Belt hangers, I think they are called. They're used by alpine climbers and stuff like that. But usually they are a little bit bigger than this, and they're razor sharp, and this one clearly is not. It has an edge put to it, machined into it, but unfortunately this edge is dull as hell, so you can't probably do anything with it. The idea, however, is very cool. The pivot that keeps the blade to the rest of the knife looks quite strong. I have to look over the camera to see it. But again, this is a cheapy little knife. Maybe out of all of these that you see here, this I would keep, because it's easily to conceal in a pocket. It also have the goddamn bottle opener right here, and if you pick up a rock or something like that, you can sharpen this really well, because it already has an edged cutting surface on it, and you can probably sharpen it a little bit and then hone it on a leather strap or something like that, leather belt, leather boot you can also use for strapping. So yeah, another cutting tool. Let's put this back as it was, and place it back in this little bag here. And I think this is it with the cutting tool. So we have basically 4 cutting tools here for our tinder processing, trap processing, wood processing again, and this, which I can't attribute to any specific function, but in any case I could maybe unscrew something. And I remember reading somewhere that where is it? This one can actually be used as a survival hatchet in a pinch. Just place it like this on a stick and tie it with paracord, and you can use it for chopping, but I really don't see that happening, but in any case. So, next item, again, not something essential by any means, but if you're a wine lover, you'll be thrilled by this. So this is basically a corkscrew opener with a little metal thingy here that I guess you can use to chip rocks with, like this. Never a big fan of that myself, but if any of you out there are survival purists and like do work with stone, like chipping stone, creating edges from stones and stuff like that, then maybe this is an item for you. You can also find this and buy separately. But for this little thing that we have here, this little survival kit, I wouldn't put that in there, not in a million years, because it's not one of the essential 5 C's. Next on the list, and I think last on the list, we have here something that might be useful if it works. One of these little compasses, button compass, right? And from what I can tell, slowly but surely it actually shows north from my location, which is great. Let's shake this a little bit. Let's see if we can do the trick again. Come on, don't be shy. Well, maybe it needs a better stable surface or something like that. It seems to work for the first time, but now it just doesn't do anything anymore. Actually, it stabilized again, so it's working. It does show north after a while, so I'll declare this as a useful item. It's also one of the extended C's. It's part of the 10-piece kit. It's called, of course, a compass, and it's used for navigation, mountain rescuer device, mountain climbers, skiers, and so on, to have one of these in their 10-piece kit. So I guess I'll give this a go. Right, I'll put this as useful. Now, what else do we have here? The last item in the box, if we don't consider this bag a separate item, doesn't have a hole in it, but I mean, how much water can you store in this shit? Sorry, I said this S word. And anyways, so oh, this is another lighter. All right, another torch, if you will. So it does a little bit of light for you. It also comes with one of these keychains, which is really nice. You can add this to your keys, I guess. It only has one function, and if you not pressing this correctly, you're gonna lose your light. But in any case, this is actually another one of the extended 10-piece kit, or the 10 C's, which is kindling device. So we're gonna put this here as well. All right. So that's it, guys. For $8, you get all of these things and this pretty orange box. All right. Now let's discuss a little bit about who is this survival kit intended for. Well, to be honest with you guys, I picked this one up because my kid saw it on the Chinese market, and he really wanted it. Maybe because it was orange or something like that, I don't know. look at the price, $8. Said okay. Now that I look at the items inside of it, I think this is going to be useful for me to teach my kid a little bit of handling, maybe a knife or a multi-tool, because these are inexpensive, okay, and they are not sharp, so I can trust in these that they are actually not going to cut. But in the same time, I can teach my kid how to hold it in his arm and how to operate open blades, or even this tiny little saw that we have here, alright? And I can teach him that these are just toys, and after he learns how to use them a little bit better and he comes of age, which in my opinion should be 9 years old for a boy to be able to correctly maneuver a cutting edge or a multi-tool, for that reason on. And of course how to navigate using one of these compasses. And that, to my opinion, is who this box is meant for. So if you want to teach someone how to use any of these items, then these are cheap enough so you can buy them and have no regrets when they break, basically. The box is really nice. You can really put different stuff in here. For example, I would use one of these boxes if I can find one again, but empty without the other crap in it, for, I don't know, $2 or something like that. I would buy a couple of these to put nails in them, because the material seems to be thick enough and you can actually put a lot of nails in these things. Alright. So yeah, this is very good in my opinion, the box itself. Then I also would keep this. Alright, let's make a little bit of room here and show you what I would keep. So I would keep the box. I would keep this because it's a very interesting concept. Alright. I would keep the whistle. I would keep this light. I would keep this button compass, and I would keep this multi-tool. The rest of the crap that you see here, I would throw them away because they are useful. They are useless. I'm sorry, they are fucking useless. So I will get rid of these and keep only this here, and with them I'm going to try to teach my son how to use a multi-tool, a cutting edge, how to signal with a whistle, how to orientate itself using a compass, and of course this is a playful little thing that won't hurt anyone. So there you have it, folks. This is my opinion on this, what you call it, Fervor Fox survival kit in a box. So once again, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, here, smash that like button. It really means a lot. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel, and thank you very much and have a nice day.